Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is me, Miniatures Cameraman, and today I am talking about The Lost Man Season 1, Episode 1, The Lost Oscorp. I think that's what this episode is. This was something I've been looking forward to for a while. A year ago, Spider-Man in Quarantine released. Spider-Man in Quarantine won the Fan Film Award 2022. Segueing into that, Fan Film Award 2023 are on December 30th, 2023. So get ready to watch that. I will say that we are changing a lot for 2024. We have seen our flaws, but we're going to continue 2023's awards the way that we planned it. And I might make a video talking about how we're changing it for 2024 if we're going to try to do some things to fix it before the 2024 awards. We're going to figure it out. But yeah, we are very excited for it. So guys, get ready. Let's talk about this thing. This was a very interesting series. I've been following it. I've been looking at things from it for a while now. I think the news for it first came out in like late March when they first announced their panel, and then The Lost Man was in it. And I remember not being a huge excited for it. Thought it was a little odd. I didn't really understand it at first. Then I got more of a grasp on it. I was like, okay. Trailer then dropped. Trailer was fine. I don't think I made a video on it. I think really in like late June is when everything started coming out around it. I think it was a very good move on their part to release this episode early. I think they could have waited until July of next year to do it. They definitely could have. But I think that's a very interesting decision. Like, they really did take their time with this thing, which is very good. But they needed to put something out there. They really did. Because if they're planning on releasing Stranger Past in 2025, which again is, I think, a really odd thing on their slate before Spider-Man Negative Life, but if they are planning on doing that, there isn't much time. Like, I just think it's an odd decision, but I'm still really excited for this thing. I don't think I'm going to be able to review it when it releases in the spring, in the summer, whatever, just due to the fact that I'm not going to be around to review it. But I'm probably going to do, like, a lot of reviewing. I'm going to really figure it out. I don't really know how it's going to turn out. I don't know how it's going to come out, but I'm going to definitely be able to review this series at some point or another, even if it's a little delayed. But, yeah, whatever. There's nothing to be done about that. But this was a really interesting series. This episode on its own was interesting. To be fair, I did come out of watching Percy Jackson from it, so, like, that is a factor. But I have seen really only one other Spider-Man series, I think, which was Web of Spider-Man. I don't think I've ever seen another really Spider-Man TV show. And I love TV shows. I love films, obviously, but I'm also a really big fan of TV shows. Like, I grew up on Flash. There's no doubting it. I grew up on Flash. I grew up on DC Legends. So those are, like, I'm used to watching those things. Like, so I love this. But I definitely do have my criticisms. I thought the first chunk of this episode was really good. This episode was rather short. Even though it says a 21-minute runtime, I'm estimating 14 to 15 minutes of actual film. Because they have the opening credits, they have the opening credits. So it may even be 13 to 15 minutes, somewhere in that range. Because there's at least 5 minutes of credits at the end. But it's a very interesting runtime. And I feel like its runtime may affect the plot a little. Let's just review it. The episode opens with the scene of Oscorp's Goblin. I thought that was a very good opening scene. I don't see how they could have opened the series any other way. That was a very good opening scene. I think what this does very well is humanizing Peter. I think that's what they do very well. They did very well in Quarantine. They're doing it very well here again. I really enjoyed seeing Peter just get ready for school and then going to school. And I even did like MJ in this. I thought MJ was definitely very good in it. Because I'm watching with English subtitles, it's a little odd. It's a little difficult at times, but I thought all the actors in this were really good. I think specifically Peter and MJ though. I always liked Peter in this. I think MJ in this was very good, and I didn't love the others. I liked them, but they weren't on that level. But I did think MJ was very good in this. It was very good for me to see at least that they did something else. Like, they added MJ into the plot, which is something I was Like, they needed this character. Like, they really did. And I'm very happy that they brought her into it. But then there was the spider bite scene. I thought that scene was shot very well. It looked very good. I will say, this film looks really good. And I really like how they do that. I think it just is very impressive. But I do like the spider bite. I like him and MJ guess going on a date. I feel like that whole part is a really good part of the episode. I love that. It's the final few minutes. That talk between Stacy and his friend just goes on. Like, that was such a long talk. And I feel like if that was like a minute or two, that's fine. But it didn't benefit the plot much. Like, yeah, we learned a little about Captain Stacy's character. But in an episode with like 14 to 15 minutes of runtime, I don't feel like that was the best way to spend that runtime. Like, I think that's a very important way to think about it. Like, if you have this amount of runtime, you have to know where you're placing it. And I don't think they placed that runtime in the correct places. Like, then the episode ends with Captain Stacy walking away. I did not think that was the end of the episode. First, I knew that wasn't 20 minutes. And second, I just felt like that was an odd way to end it, because I feel like that dialogue scene kept dragging on. And yeah, I get the whole thing with like him being on guard. Look, it's good writing, I'm not gonna lie. But they went on so long with that whole movie plot and like, what was it? Goonies? It wasn't Goonies. I forgot, Goosebumps? It was something, I don't remember what it was, but there was some movie, and then he goes to find Peter. Oh man, very good setup. But why did he have to talk with this guy for so long? If they were really trying to get runtime, what they should have done is had another scene with Peter with like Aunt May, or a scene with Peter at school, or added that to be the runtime. I feel like if they wanted more runtime, they could have added more runtime. I just don't think they did. Like, that was just a very odd decision in my opinion. Like, that was such a long dialogue scene. It just felt out of place in the episode. Because we didn't know these characters yet, it didn't feel like, literally in the credits, the other dude is just named like Other Dude or something. Like, he isn't given much credit. And I think that kind of just shows that this dialogue scene is not that important to the plot. And I think that's the issue with some of these shows, is when you're doing 20-minute, 6-episode things, you need every minute to count. Like, you can't be having filler. Or you can have at minimum filler. And I think this just was too long. And I think they could have shown this Captain Stacy stuff in a very different way. I think we could have first met Captain Stacy, really, with Peter. That could have been our opening scene. We could have had a fun scene with Peter and Captain Stacy and having them bounce off each other. I just feel like that was an interesting decision. I don't necessarily think it was a bad decision. It was just an interesting decision. Honestly, it's a bit of a bad decision, but who knows. I'll just go to 6 points. Directing, very well. This was definitely shot so much better than In Quarantine. Editing was also very good. I can't really deny it. Acting was pretty good. It's very difficult for me to judge acting in this because I'm reading the English subtitles. But overall, from what I could see, it did look pretty good. Like, it did look like pretty good acting. Story, I thought the story in this was pretty solid. I thought the story in this was pretty solid. It's a very good opening. It's a very good way to open this. Choreography, there isn't any, and music, pretty good. I think the music in this is actually pretty good. Overall, I don't have so much else to say about this thing. It's very good, but it's very much a pilot. Like, you can feel the pilot energy from it. Not necessarily a bad thing, but you can't always do so much with a pilot. But I don't really know how else to add to it. I just think it was a pretty solid episode. Can't wait for rest of the Lost Man. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Get ready for Fan Film Awards, December 30th. If you want to be featured, if you want like a commercial or a trailer for your fan film in it, you can still sign up for that. That's going to be in the description, so please sign up if you want to. Besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.